Sajjan, yesterday, this is interesting, by a vote of 169 to 151, the opposition parties came together to pass James Beeson's motion in the House of Commons condemning Minister Sajjan for his lack of leadership. Interesting. Full motion that given the Minister of National Defence has clearly lost the respect of his members of the Canadian Armed Forces, including those at the highest ranks, for, amongst other things, misleading Canadians on the withdrawal of fighter jets in the fight against ISIS, misleading Canadians about his service record, presiding over the wrongful accusation of a dismissal of a Vice Admiral Norman, engaging in a cover-up of sexual misconduct allegations in the Canadian Armed Forces. The House formally censures the Minister of National Defence to express the disappointment of the House of Commons in his conduct. So, yeah, I mean, that's not great. That's not great. All sorts of people come out of the... I mean, it's good, but what's going to happen to... It's good in that the House is stating their displeasure with the conduct of these terrible cabinet ministers. So that's a positive thing. But that doesn't feel good when you're Sajjan getting that feedback. So everybody jumps in and starts saying, everybody being Chrystia Freeland and the lieutenant in the House, the leader of the Liberals in the House, Rodriguez. I think Pablo Rodriguez. But I think that I don't know that it's going to move the needle on getting Sajjan out of the position. Does he resign because he feels bad? Like, oh no, they don't like me. He knew. Right, he knows, he knew, he doesn't care. These scandals aren't news to him, right? Like you could go back and look at articles where he's commented angrily on them, right? But it's not news. It's not like he's thought to himself, this is one that I should really step down for, right? Like, no, these are all kind of just there, things that happen. So is he gonna change his mind now about how he's dealt with all this? I'm gonna ignore it and carry on, right? Carry on as if nothing happened. Dan Albus says, hearing the defense minister in question period speak of the need for a culture change in our forces while ignoring his 6 years of being the minister and taking no action to instigate a culture change is all part of why this defense minister must go. So Dan Albus, I think he's an MP. I believe he's a sitting MP. Yeah. So justifying his vote on why Sajjan's conduct is subpar, etc. Chrystia Freeland says, she weighs in, she says, I'm proud to work alongside Harjit Sajjan. I've seen him defend Canada's national interests time and again at home and abroad. He's dedicated much of his life to service and serving others. These partisan games are a distraction from our job, which is to serve Canadians. Right, did you read the list here, Ms. Freeland? Did you read the motion? Misleading Canadians, presiding over wrongful accusation and dismissal of Mark Norman. Do you remember any of that, Ms. Freeland? No? Okay. Pablo Rodriguez says, today the Conservative, NDP, and Bloc work together to pass an egregious motion that does nothing to help the women and men of the Canadian Armed Forces, but seeks to score cheap political points. They are attacking the character and service record of Harjit Sajjan, an honorable person who has dedicated his life to serving his country. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So all hands on deck. Everybody's sending out tweets of support. People are sending things out. I don't know if this motion is going to be impactful. I don't know if there's going to be I don't know if there's going to be any real movement, right? Like there hasn't been. Trudeau has just ignored any upset, any pushback, or ejected people from the caucus and carried on, right? Do you remember when Jody Wilson-Raybould was the Attorney General and they were pressuring her to give a DPA to SNC Lavalin, right? And then what happened? Nothing. So a culture change, he failed to do a culture change. Well, oh no, right? Sorry, I'm just going to keep doing what we've done. And I don't agree with what they've done, but ignoring the dissent and then claiming racism seems to really work. Who knew? Who knew it was that easy, right? And it's almost so easy the Conservatives don't try it because it seems silly. Like it seems like it wouldn't work. But hey, work's a treat, looks like. Anyway.